Are you tired of watching life pass you by? Pause for a second. Not tomorrow. Not after this video. Right now. Ask yourself this honestly. How many times have you said, "One day I'll change," and then let that day quietly disappear? How many nights have you gone to sleep carrying the weight of unfinished goals, unrealized potential, and promises you made to yourself that still haven't been kept? If you feel that tightness in your chest, that restless feeling you can't quite explain, you're not alone. That feeling is the voice of something inside you that refuses to settle for average. It's the part of you that knows there is more waiting on the other side of fear, doubt, and delay. This is not just another video you scroll past while searching for motivation. This is a moment of decision, because every transformation starts the same way, with a single moment where someone finally says, "Enough. Enough living small." Why do we struggle even when we want more? Most people don't lack talent. They don't lack intelligence. They don't even lack opportunity. What they lack is belief that they are capable of becoming the person they imagine in their quietest moments. The struggle isn't outside of you. It's internal. You wake up with ambition, but the day chips away at it. Responsibilities pile up. Doubts whisper. Fear shows up dressed as logic, telling you to be realistic, to play it safe, to not try too hard. You've been told to lower your expectations, to stay in your lane, to accept what is, instead of chasing what could be. But deep down, something in you knows that settling is not the same as peace. Comfort is not fulfillment, and survival is not success. Growth begins the moment you refuse to stay the same. Your dreams didn't come this far to die quietly. These words matter because they speak to a truth many people avoid. Change is uncomfortable, but regret is heavier. What if this is the moment everything shifts? Think about the version of you that exists 1 year from now. Imagine waking up stronger, more confident, and more disciplined. Imagine knowing that when challenges appear, you don't break, you adapt. That future doesn't belong to a special group of people. It belongs to those who decide to stop negotiating with their potential. Every success story you admire started with someone standing exactly where you are now. Confused, uncertain, hungry for more. The difference wasn't luck. It was a decision made in silence, long before applause ever arrived. "I will win" is not arrogance. It's a commitment, a promise you make to yourself that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise with more intention. Winning isn't about trophies or attention. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of growth beyond your past limitations. What are you really afraid of? Failure gets blamed a lot, but failure is not the real fear. The real fear is trying with everything you have and still falling short. The fear of being seen, the fear of being judged, the fear of discovering how powerful you truly are, because power demands responsibility. But here's the truth most people never hear. You don't grow when fear disappears. You grow when fear stops controlling your decisions. Courage is not the absence of doubt. It's action in spite of it. You don't need confidence to begin. You need commitment. Action builds belief, not the other way around. Every step forward rewires how you see yourself. Every small win stacks evidence that you are capable of more than yesterday. You don't become strong by waiting to feel ready. You become ready by showing up repeatedly, even when motivation fades. Why does your story still matter? No matter where you're starting from, your story is still being written. Your past does not disqualify you. Your mistakes do not define your ceiling. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are in progress. The world doesn't need another perfect person. It needs people who are willing to rise despite their flaws. Your struggles are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you have been fighting. And fighters don't quit just because the battle gets hard. Your pain is not permanent. Your effort is not invisible. Every day you show up, even imperfectly, you're building momentum. Momentum doesn't scream. It whispers, then moves mountains quietly. What does winning actually look like? Winning looks like discipline when motivation disappears. Winning looks like choosing growth over comfort. Winning looks like keeping promises to yourself when no one else is watching. It's waking up and doing the work anyway. It's pushing forward when progress feels slow. It's refusing to let temporary setbacks become permanent identities. Winning is internal before it ever becomes external. If you conquer your mind, your habits will follow. If your habits change, your life transforms. Success is built in silence, long before it's celebrated in public. This journey isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming who you were always capable of being. And that begins with awareness, with honesty, with the courage to look inward and ask yourself the hard questions you've been avoiding. Because before you can change your world, you must understand how you see yourself within it. Before you can rise, you must recognize what's been holding you back. So take a breath. Who are you when no one is watching? Before anything in your life truly changes, something quieter must happen first. Not around you, but within you. Strip away the titles, the expectations, the roles you play for other people. Who are you when the noise fades? Who shows up when there is no applause, no pressure, no one to impress? Most people avoid this question because it demands honesty. And honesty can feel uncomfortable before it feels empowering. Yet self-mastery begins the moment you stop running from your own reflection. Not to judge yourself, but to understand yourself. Awareness is the first form of discipline. You cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. When you understand your patterns, your reactions, and your inner dialogue, you reclaim control. You stop living on autopilot. You stop letting old habits decide your future. What stories are you telling yourself every day? Every action you take is guided by a belief, whether you realize it or not. Some beliefs push you forward. Others quietly hold you back. You might say you want success, growth, and fulfillment. But what do you tell yourself when things get difficult? Do you say, "This is hard, but I'll figure it out," or do you say, "This always happens to me"? That internal conversation matters more than motivation ever will. Because motivation fades, but mindset stays. There is a man who grew up believing he was not smart enough. He failed tests, struggled in school, and accepted that label as truth. Years later, he questioned that belief for the first time, not by reading a quote, but by observing his effort. He noticed that when he practiced consistently, he improved. When he asked questions, he understood more. The problem was never intelligence. It was assumption. The moment he challenged that story, his performance changed. Not overnight, but permanently. Your beliefs are not facts. They're habits of thought. What happens when you stop reacting and start observing? Self-awareness is not about fixing yourself. It's about noticing yourself. Notice how you react under pressure. Notice what drains your energy and what fuels it. Notice how you speak to yourself after a mistake. Most people react automatically. They get triggered, discouraged, or defensive without understanding why. But awareness creates space, and space gives you choice. A woman once realized that every time she felt overwhelmed, she scrolled endlessly on her phone. Not because she was lazy, but because she was avoiding discomfort. Once she noticed the pattern, She replaced it. 5 deep breaths instead of scrolling. A short walk instead of avoidance. Small shifts created massive clarity. Clarity comes from attention. Change begins when patterns are exposed. You don't need to control everything. You need to understand yourself enough to respond intentionally. Which habits are quietly shaping your life? Your future is not built by dramatic decisions. It's built by repeated behaviors that seem insignificant in the moment. How you start your morning. How you speak to yourself when plans fall apart. How you handle discomfort. These are not random actions. They are habits. Habits are powerful because they operate silently. They don't ask permission. They simply repeat. A successful athlete once shared that his biggest breakthrough wasn't physical training. It was mental conditioning. He trained his mind to focus on what he could control. Effort, preparation, recovery. He stopped obsessing over outcomes. And ironically, his results improved. Focus creates momentum. Consistency beats intensity every time. If you want a stronger life, you need stronger daily practices. Not perfect ones, honest ones. Try this simple reflection. At the end of today, ask yourself one question. Did my habits today support the life I want tomorrow? What does strength look like when things go wrong? A strong mindset is not about constant positivity. It's about resilience. Life will test you. Plans will fail. People will disappoint you. Strength is staying grounded when uncertainty shows up. It's adapting instead of collapsing. Consider the entrepreneur who lost everything in a failed venture. Savings gone, confidence shaken, public failure. Instead of quitting, he studied what went wrong. Not with shame, but with curiosity. He rebuilt not just a business, but his thinking. That failure became his education. His humility became his advantage. Resilience is learned, not inherited. Every setback carries information. You don't need to avoid hardship. You need to develop the mindset that can withstand it. How can you train your mind like a muscle? Your mind responds to training just like your body does. What you practice grows stronger. If you rehearse doubt, doubt expands. If you rehearse courage, courage becomes familiar. Start with language. The words you use shape how you feel. Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Replace "I fail" with "I gained feedback." Here's a simple exercise. For the next 7 days, write down one moment where you chose effort over comfort. One moment where you showed discipline. You are collecting evidence of capability. And evidence builds confidence. I am becoming more capable every day. I respond with strength, not fear. These affirmations are not wishes. They are reminders of direction. Why does perspective change everything? 2 people can face the same challenge and walk away with opposite outcomes. The difference is perspective. One sees obstacles as proof to stop. The other sees them as proof to adapt. Perspective determines meaning, and meaning determines motivation. When you reframe challenges as training, you reclaim power. When you see discomfort as growth, you stop resisting it. This doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means using it. Perspective turns pressure into progress. How you interpret events defines how they shape you. You're not defined by what happens to you. You're defined by how you process it. What questions should you be asking yourself? Growth doesn't come from answers alone. It comes from better questions. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding right now? What belief is holding me back? What habit would change everything if I committed to it fully? These questions guide attention. Attention guides action. Take 5 minutes today. Sit quietly. No distractions. Ask one honest question and listen. Not for judgment, but for clarity. Clarity is the gateway to intention. Who are you choosing to become? You're not stuck with the mindset you currently have. You are shaping it every day, whether intentionally or not. Every choice is a vote for the person you're becoming. Every response either strengthens discipline or reinforces avoidance. This is not about perfection. It's about alignment. Align your thoughts with your goals. Align your habits with your values. Align your actions with the future you want to live. Identity drives behavior. Become the person who does what needs to be done. Once you understand yourself, your strengths, your triggers, your patterns, you gain leverage. And leverage turns effort into progress. From here, the path becomes clearer. Not easier, but clearer. Because once awareness is established, direction follows. And direction demands structure, intention, and purposeful action. The next step is not dreaming harder. It is deciding deliberately where you're going and how you will get there. That is where vision transforms into strategy, and intention becomes a plan worth executing. What do you want badly enough to work for every day? Ambition without direction is noise. Effort without a target becomes exhaustion. If you want to win, you must decide what winning actually looks like for you. Too many people move through life with vague wishes instead of clear intentions. They say they want more success, more freedom, more confidence, but they never define what more means. Clarity turns desire into power. When you know exactly what you're aiming for, your energy stops scattering. It aligns. Focus gives effort a destination. A defined goal turns hope into action. You're capable of extraordinary progress once you stop drifting and start choosing. Why do clear targets change everything? Your mind needs a destination. Without one, it defaults to comfort and distraction. With one, it begins to organize your time, your attention, and your decisions. Think of someone training for a marathon. They do not wake up and run randomly. They follow a plan. They track distance. They rest with intention. That structure does not limit them. It frees them. The same principle applies to your life. When you define where you're going, you gain permission to say no to everything that does not move you closer. Direction creates discipline. What you prioritize determines what you become. Goals are not chains. They are compasses. How do you choose goals that actually matter? Not every goal deserves your energy. Some goals impress others. The right goals transform you. Ask yourself this. Does this goal align with the person I want to become? Does it challenge me without breaking me? Does it excite me enough to stay committed when motivation fades? A meaningful goal stretches your identity. It demands growth. There was a woman who worked a stable job she disliked. She set a vague goal to be happier. Nothing changed. Then she defined it. She decided to build a skill she loved within 12 months. She created a timeline. She sacrificed evenings. She tracked progress weekly. 2 years later, her life looked unrecognizable. Not because she wished harder, because she planned with precision. Specific goals create measurable progress. If it matters, schedule it. What does breaking a goal into action look like? Big goals overwhelm people because they feel heavy. The solution is not to think smaller. It is to act smaller. Break the vision into steps that feel almost too simple. Daily actions, weekly milestones, monthly checkpoints. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, say, I will spend 1 hour each day building this skill. Instead of saying, I want to get in shape, say, I will move my body for 30 minutes 5 days a week. Success is built in pieces. Here is a practical exercise. Write one goal at the top of a page. Under it, list the actions required. Then circle the first action you could take today. Momentum begins with movement. Progress favors the consistent. Small actions, repeated, create massive change. How do you turn planning into power? Planning is not overthinking. It is pre-deciding. When you plan, you remove negotiation from the moment of action. You already know what to do when resistance appears. A high-performing student once struggled with procrastination, not because of laziness, but because of uncertainty. Once she created a weekly plan with fixed study blocks, her stress dropped. Her results improved. Structure replaced chaos. Plan your days with intention. Protect your priorities. Leave room for rest, but not excuses. Plan your week or react to it. Preparation is confidence in advance. How do you stay disciplined when motivation disappears? Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is dependable. Discipline is choosing long-term reward over short-term comfort. It is showing up even when enthusiasm is quiet. One effective strategy is identity-based commitment. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" ask, "What would the person I'm becoming do right now?" Another strategy is environment design. Remove distractions. Prepare tools in advance. Make progress easier than avoidance. Discipline is not about willpower. It is about design. You do not rise to motivation. You fall to your systems. When discipline becomes routine, success becomes predictable. What about procrastination and distraction? Procrastination is rarely about time. It is about emotion. People delay tasks because they feel overwhelmed, uncertain, or afraid of failure. The solution is clarity, not pressure. Define the next action clearly. Lower the barrier to starting. Tell yourself you will work for 5 minutes. Often, starting is the hardest part. Also, remember this: progress does not require perfect conditions. It requires commitment under imperfect ones. Action cures anxiety. Start before you feel ready. How does persistence rewrite outcomes? Every meaningful achievement requires endurance. There will be slow days. There will be setbacks. A writer once faced dozens of rejections. Instead of quitting, he refined his process. He improved one page at a time. Eventually, persistence met opportunity. Planning gives you direction. Persistence keeps you moving when progress feels invisible. Consistency is belief in motion. Those who stay the course change their destiny. You are not behind. You are building. Who are you becoming through this process? Goals are not just about results. They shape identity. As you commit to your plan, you become more focused, more resilient, more confident. Each completed action reinforces trust in yourself. Trust builds momentum. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary outcomes. Not through shortcuts, but through structure. You become what you repeatedly do. As you move forward with clarity and intention, understand this. Planning prepares you, but it does not eliminate difficulty. Challenges will appear. Resistance will test you. Unexpected obstacles will demand adaptation. The next phase of your journey is not about avoiding these moments. It is about meeting them with strength, strategy, and unwavering resolve. That is where true victory is forged. Why do the hardest moments always appear at the worst time? Just when things seem to be moving forward, life pushes back. Plans unravel. Effort goes unnoticed. Progress feels slow or completely invisible. This is where most people stop, not because they're incapable, but because resistance feels personal. Understand this clearly. Difficulty is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are advancing into unfamiliar territory. Pressure is not punishment. It is preparation. Every meaningful pursuit comes with friction. The question is not whether obstacles will appear. The question is how you respond when they do. What do setbacks really mean? A setback is information, not a verdict. It tells you what needs adjustment, not when to quit. Too many people interpret failure as an identity. They say, I failed, instead of that attempt failed. One is permanent. The other is temporary. A young athlete trained for years only to miss selection by a narrow margin. Devastation followed. Doubt crept in. Instead of walking away, she analyzed her performance. She strengthened her weaknesses. She refined her technique. The following year, she returned stronger, faster, and mentally tougher. The loss became leverage. Failure refines those who refuse to retreat. What breaks some builds others. What happens when you stop taking obstacles personally? Not every challenge is about you. Some are about timing. Some are about learning curves. Some exist simply to test commitment. When you detach emotion from evaluation, growth accelerates. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That shift changes everything. There was an entrepreneur whose first business collapsed publicly. Criticism followed. Confidence wavered. Instead of defending his ego, he rebuilt his process. He learned to separate identity from outcome. His next venture succeeded not because he avoided mistakes, but because he respected feedback. Ego resists correction. Resilience invites improvement. How do you build strength when you feel drained? Resilience is not endless energy. It is intelligent recovery. Strong people rest without quitting. They pause without surrendering purpose. When exhaustion appears, listen, but do not obey blindly. Distinguish between fatigue and fear. Practical resilience begins with basics. Sleep protects judgment. Nutrition fuels focus. Movement stabilizes mood. Mental strength is supported by physical discipline. Take care of the engine if you want to finish the race. What do you do when doubt gets loud? Doubt speaks in familiar language. It uses your past. It exaggerates risk. It minimizes capability. You do not eliminate doubt. You outgrow it. One effective method is evidence collection. Write down moments you pushed through difficulty, moments you adapted, moments you endured. These are facts. Doubt is opinion. I have overcome before. I am capable of learning. Repeat what is true, not what is loud. How can pain become a source of power? Pain demands attention. You can let it weaken you or educate you. A man once lost everything he built due to circumstances beyond his control. Grief followed. Anger followed. Instead of closing himself off, he allowed the experience to deepen his perspective. He became more patient, more strategic, more grounded. His success later in life carried depth, not arrogance. Suffering either hardens or humbles. Depth creates durability. When pain changes you for the better, it becomes fuel. What does perseverance look like on ordinary days? Perseverance is not dramatic. It is quiet consistency. It is choosing effort when no one is watching. It is returning after disappointment. It is honoring commitments when emotions fluctuate. Most victories are built on days that feel unremarkable. Greatness is repetition with intention. Ask yourself this: can I stay committed even when progress feels slow? That answer determines outcomes. How do you strengthen mental toughness? Mental toughness grows through exposure. Not reckless exposure, but intentional challenge. Do hard things on purpose. Finish tasks you want to abandon. Speak up when silence feels easier. Each completed challenge expands confidence. Another tool is reframing. Replace "this is unbearable" with "this is temporary." Replace "I can't" with "I am adapting." Language shapes endurance. I am stronger than this moment. I do not break under pressure. What role does support play in resilience? No one succeeds alone. Resilient people seek guidance, not validation. They surround themselves with those who challenge them, those who remind them of their standards. Asking for support is not weakness. It is strategic awareness. Strength multiplies in the right environment. Who do you become after you survive difficulty? Every challenge leaves a mark. The choice is what kind. You can carry bitterness, or you can carry wisdom. Those who endure with intention develop composure. They remain steady under pressure. They adapt faster. This is the quiet power of resilience. You are not the same person who started. As you continue forward, remember this: obstacles will not disappear, but your capacity to handle them will expand. You're learning to stand firm, to adjust quickly, to keep moving regardless of resistance. The next step is not waiting for ideal conditions. It is acting decisively with the strength you have built. Momentum is created through action, and action transforms resilience into results. What are you waiting for right now? There's a moment in every journey where thinking must end and movement must begin. Not later. Not when conditions improve. Now. Ideas mean nothing without execution. Dreams stay distant without action. The difference between intention and impact is movement. You do not need a perfect plan to begin. You need a decision to move forward despite uncertainty. Action creates clarity. Momentum rewards those who start. Every meaningful change in your life begins with a step that feels small but intentional. Why does consistency outperform talent? Talent is impressive, but it is unreliable without discipline. Consistency compounds quietly, day by day, choice by choice. The people you admire did not rely on bursts of motivation. They built routines. They showed up repeatedly, even when enthusiasm faded. A musician once practiced scales every morning before sunrise. No audience, no recognition, just commitment. Years later, that routine became mastery. Not because of luck, but because of repetition. Consistency is how effort becomes excellence. Small actions, done daily, shape extraordinary outcomes. What does showing up every day really mean? Showing up does not require perfection. It requires presence. Some days, progress will feel powerful. Other days, it will feel barely noticeable. Both count. Success is not built on your best days. It is built on your most ordinary ones. Ask yourself this: can I commit to doing the work even when it feels unremarkable? That question defines your future. How do you turn goals into daily habits? Big goals feel inspiring. Daily habits make them inevitable. Break ambition into behaviors. Schedule those behaviors. Protect them. If your goal is growth, what does growth look like today? 1 page written, 1 workout completed, 1 conversation initiated. Habit design matters. Tie new habits to existing routines. Start small enough to maintain momentum. Here is a practical approach. Choose 1 habit. Commit to it for 30 days. Track it visibly. Progress becomes motivating when it is visible. Habits are votes for the person you are becoming. What happens when excuses appear? Excuses are creative. They sound reasonable. They feel protective, but they quietly delay your life. When an excuse arises, pause. Ask yourself 1 question. Is this protecting my comfort or my future? Often, discomfort signals alignment with growth. A business owner once felt too tired to continue after repeated setbacks. Instead of quitting, he reduced his workload strategically. He focused on one priority daily. That focus rebuilt momentum. You do not need to do everything. You need to do something consistently. How do you maintain energy over the long term? Consistency is not about forcing effort endlessly. It is about pacing intelligently. Build rest into your routine. Celebrate small wins. Adjust without abandoning direction. Burnout comes from intensity without recovery. Sustainability comes from rhythm. Rest is not a reward. It is a requirement. Protect your energy as fiercely as your time. Why does identity matter in staying consistent? When actions align with identity, consistency strengthens. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to be disciplined," say, "I am disciplined." Identity-based action reduces negotiation. You act in alignment with who you believe you are. A runner does not debate whether to run. It is part of who they are. Define your identity intentionally. I am someone who finishes what I start. I honor my commitments. These statements guide behavior. What role does patience play in action? Results lag behind effort. This delay discourages many people. Understand this. Work done today often pays off later. Patience is active. It is continued effort without immediate reward. A writer once published content weekly for years without recognition. Then momentum shifted. Consistency met opportunity. Persistence outlasts doubt. Trust the process you are building. How do you recover when you miss a day? Missing a day is human. Missing twice is a pattern. The rule is simple. Never miss twice. Return immediately. Without guilt. Without drama. Consistency is resilience in action. You do not fail when you stumble. You fail when you stop. How does action create confidence? Confidence is not a prerequisite. It is a byproduct. Each completed action reinforces belief. Each small win builds trust in yourself. Action silences doubt faster than reassurance ever will. You become confident by doing difficult things. Who are you becoming through repetition? Every repeated action shapes identity. Over time, effort becomes character. You are training your future self through today's behavior. Choose intentionally. This is not about intensity. It is about alignment. As you continue moving forward, recognize this. Action sustained over time transforms intention into reality. The final step is reflection. Looking back to understand how far you have come, and looking inward to define what winning truly means to you. What will you do with what you now know? Take a moment, not to rush forward, but to reflect. You have just walked through ideas that challenge comfort and invite growth. Not theories meant to impress, but truths meant to be lived. Everything you want begins with awareness. Understanding how you think, how you respond, and how you choose. When you see yourself clearly, you stop being controlled by old patterns. You cannot rise above what you refuse to examine. From there, your inner dialogue becomes your foundation. The way you speak to yourself determines how far you go. Belief is not blind optimism. It is trained perspective. When direction enters the picture, effort becomes purposeful. Clear targets give meaning to your days. Plans turn ambition into something tangible. Vision gives effort a destination. Then come the moments that test resolve. The setbacks, the delays, the unexpected resistance. Those moments do not define failure. They reveal strength. They carve resilience into your character. You are not built by comfort. You are refined by challenge. And finally, Nothing changes without movement. Progress belongs to those who act repeatedly, who show up even when results are quiet, who keep going when excitement fades. Consistency is belief expressed through behavior. Who are you becoming through this journey? Every decision you make casts a vote for your future self. Each choice either reinforces limitation or builds capability. You are not chasing a distant version of success. You are becoming it step by step. The habits you practice, the standards you uphold, the courage you display when things feel uncertain. All of it is shaping you. This journey was never about perfection. It was about alignment. Aligning your thoughts with your goals. Aligning your actions with your values. When your actions match your intentions, progress becomes inevitable. What does winning truly mean to you? Winning is not defined by comparison. It is defined by integrity. It is knowing you gave your best effort, knowing you honored your potential, knowing you did not abandon yourself when things became difficult. Winning is personal. It is quiet confidence. It is self-respect. You win when you keep your promises to yourself. Why must you act now? Time does not wait for readiness. It responds to commitment. If you delay action, momentum dissolves. If you act, clarity follows. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait for approval. Start where you are. Use what you have. Take the next step. This moment is enough. Write down one action you will take today, one habit you will commit to, one belief you will challenge. Action transforms intention into reality. What will you tell yourself when doubt appears? Doubt will visit again. That is normal. When it does, remind yourself of truth. You have adapted before. You have endured before. I am capable. I am committed. I will continue. These are not slogans. They are declarations of direction. How do you carry this forward? Carry it through discipline, through patience, through belief in process. Let your actions speak louder than your fears. Let your effort silence hesitation. This path will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. You do not need to see the entire journey. You only need to take the next step. Who is waiting on the other side of commitment? The strongest version of you is built through consistency, through resilience, through courage. That person is not distant. They are emerging with every choice you make today. Stand firm. Stay focused. Keep moving forward. And remember this: you are not here by accident. Your goals matter. Your effort matters. I will win, not because the path is easy, but because you refuse to stop walking it. Go forward with confidence. Carry this belief into your actions, and let your commitment become the proof of who you are becoming.